Kyle from the Get the Top podcast and Myrtle here. Just wanted to say we were supposed to post this episode on Tuesday, but as Myrtle was editing and I was getting ready to upload it, I had an idea to get a quick phone call, try to catch an interview. So we got an interview. Rupert Bear, Hall of Fame dirt late model driver, is coming on for the for an interview to kind of preview the Tom Bear Memorial Race coming up here at National Bridge. Just want to do a quick update. So that being said, enjoy the episode. Welcome into the Get to the Top podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Horn, here with my co-host, Kevin Myrtle, a.k.a. Myrtle. How you doing today, Myrtle?
I'm doing all right, you buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. So we're backing it down to one a week. So we got some review and some previewing to do. But first, I want to thank our sponsors, S&S Seal Coat and Driveway Repair, Jennings Property Solutions, Smith Farm Equipment Repair, J. Rick Room, Long Foster Real Estate. Who else am I missing, Myrtle?
That's the same four.
All right, well, we got them all, so we thank all of them for their help. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start reviewing what happened last week, starting with Myrtle. If you get something pulled up to start with, I didn't think we really had a schedule to start with. But
No.
not much going on this week. I think a lot of people took the weekend off for coming off of the World 100 weekend. With that being said, let's go ahead and we'll just start with Beckley. I know it's one of our local tracks, but I know that's one that went on this weekend. So let's go into Beckley. Are you gonna say anything, Mark?
Oh. Well, I had Elkins pulled up for after, but.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just
Well, I got Beckley now.
Okay, now you're Beckley. Okay,
Freddie Carpenter picked up the win. He said it was his first five-figure payday since July 22nd of 2017. He said, I won a crate race at Beckley way back. What? This thing's name is Betty Lou 2.
That's what he's calling the car.
Oh, I was like, wow. Ain't no catfish in her, baby.
I don't know what he really means by that.
I don't either.
So give us a rundown on I was there, I'll talk about it off the top of my head, but give us a rundown on what happened.
Colton Burnett, Tyler Bear, Henry Hornsby, Matthew Nance, Chase Oliver, Brandon Francis, Luke Morney, Zach Dome, and Shane Grieco round out your top 10. Or Grieco.
So it was a pretty good race. A lot of passing, a lot of really racy. Heat races were kind of not as racy. But by the time feature time, the race was pretty good. Good battle between Zach Dome and Benji Hicks there at the beginning, and Dome went to make a pass and they made contact and both of them spun out. So sending both of them to the rear. A couple people ended up going to the rear in several incidents and made their way back, like Colton Burnett and Tyler Bear both went to the rear and made their way back up through the field. Freddie Carpenter was pretty consistent throughout the night, kind of just riding around the front, mid-pack, and was there when it counted. But like I said, it got pretty racy. Good fun to see people like Burdett and Zach Dome and Tyler Bear and Benji Hicks try to charge back through the front. So good race overall. And just a really racy track. I like going to Beckley. You see slide jobs, you see people running the cushion, you see people running the bottom. So really racy race. So speaking about Freddie Carpenter, I wanted to mention Tyler Carpenter also had a pretty good weekend himself at the XRSS series race. Where is it? I lost it. Devin Moran won.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce finished second, Tyler Carpenter third, Drake Troutman fourth, Trip General fifth, Dan Angel something. Angel Shaw?
You're not the greatest with these last names, are you?
Hell no. Seventh, Ryan Markham. Eighth, Todd Breeden. Ninth, Eddie Carrier Jr. And 10th, Corey Workman.
Okay. So, here it is. I got it right here. Devin Moran, he's Ohio race. He's won a couple at Muscatine this year and up that way. Not surprising to see him running good there. Not a lot of big names like you would expect, as big names as you expect to be there. It looks like a lot of people did end up taking off for the from the World 100. I noticed as I've been looking through some of this. MLRA was running, and Garrett Albertson took another win on kind of a hot streak for him. He took the win over Brandon Shepard, Tyler Brennan, Tyler Erb, McKay Wagner. Was your top 10. That's the MLRA is Lucas Oil, but Midwest, and their points rundown right now is Chad Simpson leads Tony Jackson by 100 points exactly. Chris Simpson is 100 points behind second exactly, and Dylan McCowan is 2,185. He is 300 and so points behind the lead. So not terribly out of the picture there, but they had some more racing action, I believe, that weekend. That was on Saturday, and Garrett Iverson won so he won again over Dennis Erb, Frank Eckness Jr., Dustin Sorensen, Tyler Erb, and I thought I saw, they had another one, and Tyler Erb took the win at Cedar County Speedway over Garrett Iverson. Good weekend for Garrett Iverson. Frank Eckness Jr., Tony Jackson Jr., Chris Simpson. So that's the MLRA. So a lot of big names at the Midwest Lucas Oil event this weekend. So with that being said, there's also some Mars Series races. Brian Shirley took a win. He's having a good season, or good end of the season for him. He took the
Ever
win.
since he switched to Longhorn.
Yeah. So he took the win over Shannon Babb, Tanner English, Jason Fager, and Brandon Shepard. And let's see what else is going on. Freddie Carpenter, good weekend. He won a Hilltop. So he won a Hilltop and at Beckley over Colton Burdett, Todd Bennett. So Colton Burdett, Freddie Carpenter, and Colton Burdett 1 and 2 both nights that weekend. Todd Brennan, Brandon Francis. I didn't even know about that race going on, really. But Dustin Mitchell took the Ultimate Southeast. No, we didn't talk about that. But Dustin Mitchell, kind of on a roll. His season finale, and that gives the championship to the Ultimate Southeast to Gary Parton. But Dustin Mitchell won over Willie Milliken, Michael Rouse, Brett Robinson, and Daniel Tucker. So Dustin Mitchell kind of been on a roll lately here in the Ultimate Southeast in the North Carolinas. As he won at Lakeview, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
I think so.
So heating up for him. And then anything else we want to hit on?
Elkins.
Yeah, I know Elkins. We're not trying to see anything else major besides our local. I know we hit Beckley already. No, I think we're good. World of Outlaws rained out both of their events on the Sunday, I believe. Yeah, that would have been Sunday. They had 2 events scheduled Sunday for some reason.
It was a World of Outlaw makeup for Talladega.
And well, they got rained out. So, and then the XRSS series, that had been a week on later. Topless Outlaws at Smoky Mountain. Skip Art won over Rusty Ballinger, Corey Hedgecock, Jordan Rawbar, Riley Hickman, Tucker Anderson, Randy Weaver, Jed Emmett, Jason Manley, and Hayden Owenby. Topless Outlaws mainly running Tennessee limited motors. So with that being said, let's get into Elkins. Myrtle, go ahead.
Jacob Hawkins picked up the win over Ryan Montgomery, Michael Lake, Tim Scenic, Derek Rogers, Jamie McLeod, Chris Southern, Bob Gordon, Dylan Lewis, and Logan Hitt. It was a 3,000 to win.
So interesting to see Hawkins. I thought he would have been at Beckley, but he went to Elkins, and he led the whole race for 3,000 to win, Fall Festival 50. Garrett Pugh took the Crate Late Model win, and they had scheduled to run that earlier in the year, but they postponed that. Interesting, they scheduled that same as Beckley. But whatever, not my job to do that. So with that being said, a lot of rain in the forecast this weekend. Another hurricane coming through. It's raining now as we record this. But the highlight of this week coming up is going to be the Knoxville Nationals at Knoxville Raceway. So Myrtle, give us a little insight on that.
It is the 20th late model, or Lucas Oil late model Knoxville Nationals. Ooh, that's rough. It's a 50,000 to win main event with, I think, a 7,000 to win prelim on Thursday and Friday. Points are awarded nightly. Drivers with the best individual night points total line up heat races.
So they're doing like kind of a
passing points deal. Here's the previous winners if you want to.
That's what I was getting ready to look up, but I guess I got it here. Ricky Thornton Jr. won it last year. Jonathan Davenport the year before that. And 21 was Mike Marlar. 19 Jimmy Owens. 18 Jimmy Owens. 17 Mike Marlar. 16 Mike Marlar. 15 Jarrett Landers. 2014 Brian Burkhofer. 13 Darrell Lanigan. 12 Steve Francis. 11 Don O'Neill. 2010 was Billy Moyer. 09 was Scott Lundquist. 08 Tim McCready. 07 Brady Smith. 06 Brian Shirley. 05 Scott Bloomquist. And 04 the initial running is Brian Burkhofer.
They actually got the purses up on here too.
Read the purse. Give us a rundown on the purse then, Merle.
Thursday, Friday for the prelims it's $7,000 for winning, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000, $1,500, $1,000, $900, $800, $700, $600, $580, $560, $540, $520, $500, $490, $480, $470, $460, $450, $430 or $440, $430, $410, and $400. That's for prelims. And then Saturday night, the big one is $50,000, $25, $10, $87, $87.5, $75, $7,000, $65, $6,000, $55, $5,000, $45, $4, $35, $34, $33, $32, $31, $3,000, $3,000, $3,000, $3,000 all the way to 22nd, $2,700 for 23rd and 24th, and $25 for 25th. It says through 32, but I don't ever remember them starting 32 cars. I think somebody messed up.
I guess if they had to or something, I don't know.
So 2,500 to start.
All right, so Knoxville Nationals coming up. Always something I look forward to watching. Myrtle, do you have the points pulled up on them? Let's see what the points update is on there. Also, update while Myrtle pulls the points up. Brandon Shepard is leaving the Riggs team, Longhorn Factory team. My prediction is he's going back to Rocket, but I don't know. But he is parting ways after Charlotte this year. So.
Which, I mean, yeah, I feel like he didn't have the greatest year, but he's still leading the points.
In World of Outlaws?
Yeah.
It's not going to last long. I think Bobby's coming.
I mean, he's coming, but he's still leading the points.
He hasn't really done much in that car other than wins a few prelim nights. He did win the World Championship a few years back, but I feel like that's more of a tire and a fuel game, really, it ended up to be. And then he won Gateway, which that was a good run, good win. I think Ricky Thornton was coming on that one, too, last year.
So, with the points deal, the last race they ran was Port Royal. And I think they said...
That was the cutoff race, so now it's just the top 8.
Yeah. And the next cutoff race is Pittsburgh, so they got a little bit.
They got East Bay in between that, right?
East Bay's part of the Final Four.
Oh.
But so if it's the top 8, you got Ricky Thornton Jr., Jonathan Davenport, Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neill, Tim McCready, Garrett Albertson, Dalton Wilson, and Mike Marlar is your top 8.
What's the points separating 4 to 5?
Hudson O'Neill has a 15-point advantage over Tim McCready.
So that's pretty close.
But the rest of them is about 100, 200, and 45. So.
There's something to keep an eye on. Here's the next few weeks as they close down into the Final Four for the battle for the championship. So with that being said, a few events that I just mentioned that's going on. This week we got Fast Track at Richmond Raceway for $3,000 on Friday, and then Saturday's $20,000, or is it 10? I think it's 10.
I think you said it was 10.
Yeah, 10,000. So 3,000 on Friday, 10 on Saturday. What else is going on here? Major UMS is at Latrobe. Anything else on Friday before we get into
Hunt the Front, night number 1.
Hunt the Front? Myrtle, I'll let you talk about that a little bit. Brandon Overton still leading the points there?
Yeah, that's what I had pulled up. Brandon Overton still leads over Sam Seawright, Ashton Winger. Still tied for 4th is Zach Mitchell and Joseph Joyner, and Josh Putnam is 6th.
And that's at Thunder Hill Raceway, $5,000 to win On Friday, if they have anything on Saturday, I don't see it.
15,000 at
At
Thunder
same
Hill.
place?
Yeah, so it's a 2-day show for the Hunt the Front tour, and they only have 6 races left of the year.
All right, so closing in on the end there. Like I said, you got to keep an eye on the rain this weekend, possible rain coming up. But the biggest rundown of the week for us, I don't see anything else really going on. We'll keep an eye on, obviously, the Knoxville Nationals big race this weekend.
Carolina Clash has a 7,500 to win at Fayetteville.
Yep, so Dustin Mitchell will win that again. And
Sounds like you pick them already.
nope, I don't know about that. But yeah, we do need to go our pick'ems this week. It's up to 60 or 50.
60.
$60 to win the pick'em.
Then also, well, that's not really a big race. Never mind. Going with.
So we got Natural Bridge coming up. They were off this week. I know we usually talk about them, but they were off this week. Myrtle, did you go any racing action this week?
No, it was quite a boring weekend. Didn't go anywhere.
So Natural Bridge, you got the Tom Bear Memorial Steel Block Bandits series. So Friday, they got crates 1,200 to win, home track rules, street stock 500 to win, home track rules, sportsman, hot laps, and qualifying for the sportsman.
No, it's hot lap qualifying for everybody.
No, it's a sportsman, hot laps, and qualifying.
They told us it was everything.
Well, Murray, you get told wrong.
Okay.
Everything is hot laps and qualifying, it says. Sportsman, street stock, and crate. And then practice if time permitting on Friday. Then Saturday is the Tom Bear Memorial, 8,800 to win, 800 to start, a 60 lap feature, 15 lap, 500 to win, non-qualifiers race, $100 heat race winners, which I think has gotten boosted since then, $200 fast time. Pure stocks and the Virginia Sprint Series will also be there.
A lot of action.
Yeah, I was trying to see. I saw a post this morning. Maybe I did, or I think. Oh, here it is. It's this post. So Friday's sportsman winner will receive 25 gallons of fuel. The crate winner will receive a drum of fuel. 8th place in sportsman will get a tire. 8th place in street stock will get a tire. In addition to Bandits heat race money, an additional $100 per heat race has been added, so that's $200 to win a heat race. And then the highest paying $525 Race City Performance has added $500 to that award. So it's usually a $100 highest finishing award. It is now $500 to win the highest finishing $525. Heat races will pay $50 for second and $25 for third. The kids who have frisbees of the top 3 finishers will receive a bike. I guess that's in the feature. And the feature winner of the Tom Bear Memorial Race will also receive a tire. So you don't know who Tom Bear is. He was a local racer around here. Back in the, I don't know what years it would have been.
Back when they were still shifting at Natural Bridge and it was big, I don't know.
Yeah, but before they had power steering. I know that. But he was a local racer around Natural Bridge East Side, ran a lot of log cabin and tracks at Winchester, won the Winchester 200. Father of Hall of Fame dirt late model driver Booper Bear, grandfather of current late model driver Tyler Bear. He will be there. He's actually leading the points in the series, so it'd be kind of weird if he wasn't at this race, but
Yeah.
he is going to be at this race, so he's a local legend around here, and many view him as should be a Hall of Famer, according to like some of his stats that he has. I know in Pooper Bear's Hall of Fame speech, he said, "My dad's on the ballot," and like make sure to keep him in the conversation to be a Hall of Famer. So, a pretty good career in racing. Won a lot of races, a lot of big races. I know Alan Saggy, when we had him on to talk about his race, he had said that Tom Bear came down there for the first time, and first car had a windshield he saw, and he waxed ass at Hagerstown. So good race coming up. I know I got the payout here somewhere too. It's the basis of this payout is it's not all focused on the front heavy, where the winner and the second and third place get a lot of money. and then nobody else gets anything, like it's nothing to show for. But it is actually based on, it's a pretty big purse. The purse is almost a $40,000 purse for a steel block race. It is first place gets $8,800 to win. Second is $4,500. Third is $3,000. Fourth is $2,500. Fifth is $1,750. Sixth is $1,600. Seventh $1,500. Eighth $1,400. Ninth $1,200. 10th $1,100. 11th is going to get $1,050. 12th is $1,000. 13th is $975. 14th is $950. 15th $925. 16th $900. 17th $900. 18th $875. 19th $875. 20th $850, and the 21st through 24th is $800.
That is a hell of a purse.
Yeah. So big event coming up here. I know me and Myrtle will both be there. So check that out. We're looking forward to it Friday and Saturday at Natural Bridge. Myrtle, I see you got Winchester pulled up, so go ahead.
Yeah, Winchester's also having a 2,000 to win limited late model race with a 500 to win hobby stocks, 800 to win legends, and micro sprints. But those payouts are only based on a 15 car minimum. That's about all they got going on.
So 2 limited rate model races action going on local. We'll review them as soon as they're done. But with that being said, I think we need to get onto our pick 'em, Myrtle, up to $60.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first.
I'm going to go Mike Marlar's going to win another Knoxville Nationals on Saturday.
In the 50?
In the 50.
All right. I'm going to take... This is a tough one. I don't know. I'm going to take... I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know.
I know what I want to do for my second pick, but I don't know.
Myrtle, I'll let you go ahead and take your second pick because I want to look at something.
Please don't punch me in the face. Tyler Bear for the Tom Bear Memorial.
I wasn't going to pick that, but that's a good pick.
I figure I'd do national and local versus 2 national. Take your time. It's no rush.
Can't say that. I didn't want to take that pick, but for reasons, but
Yeah.
so that you had to take that. Where's the Carolina class? There it is. Who's won at Fayetteville? Robinson. Michael Rouse. Michael Rouse at Fayetteville, and Logan Roberson wins straight race at National Bridge.
Alright.
That's my pick 'em. I don't know if Bobby Pierce would go to Knoxville. He hasn't run good there, really. So
That track's so different.
yeah. All right, that's my pick. I'm rolling with it. So that being said, I think that's all we got. Unless you got something, Myrtle.
No, I think we got it covered.
So we will review all this. I have a feeling somebody's getting $60 at the end this week. Hopefully me. Or either that or
It's
gonna
either
push.
this, yeah, it's going to push again.
So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. I just want to give a quick little intro. I don't think we talked about it on the pod too much. But we got Boober Bear coming on here in just a second. This is kind of an intro before the interview. I know we ended the episode. It's a lot going on. But I started the episode off saying we recorded on Tuesday. But now we got an interview. So then it hops into the regular scheduled episode. Goes through, we say bye, see you next week. But we're here. We got the interview coming up. So with that being said, we got Tom Bear Memorial Race coming up. So I want to give a little information on Tom. I want to get Booper on to talk about his racing career itself, but I really want to focus on Tom Bear, the Tom Bear Memorial this weekend, and talk to him about Tom and talk to him about the race coming up. Of course, he's got a lot of Hall of Fame driver, a lot of accolades in his career. But I wanted to just kind of focus on that, and maybe another day we can talk to him about his racing and what he is to Tyler and how Tyler's racing is going and how his owning the car program is going. He taps into that a little bit in the interview, but not like full deep dive. So maybe another time we can get a deep dive. But I really want to focus on his dad and this Memorial race coming up. But a little information on his dad. I have it. I don't want the mic to come unplugged, so I have to zoom in here on the phone. He's the 1972 and 77 Winchester 200 winner, the 1975 Hub City 150 winner, 79 Fall Classic at Virginia Motor Speedway, 1979 through 80 Gibson Brown Memorial 150. I guess that's 79 to 80 season. Virginia Motor Speedway, track championships at Natural Bridge Speedway, Log Cabin Raceway, Eastside Speedway, 311 Speedway, Ace Speedway, Craigsville Speedway, and Virginia Motor Speedway.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I didn't know there was a Speedway in Craigsville.
Used to be.
I didn't know that.
So 1989, I don't know, it doesn't say in Virginia. It might not be Craigsville, Virginia. I'm just assuming it is. I don't know. 1989 Bakersboro 200 at Natural Bridge Speedway. Virginia is for Lovers 200 at Eastside. 311 Speedway, Winn-Dixie Road to Charlotte 300 Busch Series race qualifying spot. And biggest win, 5,000 win at Eastside back in the day. That's a nice little payout.
Back in the 70s, 80s, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like most of his accolades are 70s and 80s. And this paper I got sent thanks to Randy sending this out and helping us with some questions to ask. Randy Walters, that is. But this is the Hall of Fame. I mentioned that in the interview. I know I said this, and you'll hear this all in the interview, but when Booper got inducted to the Hall of Fame, at the end of his Hall of Fame speech, he said, "I'd like to add one more thing. My dad's name is on the ballot to be like possible entry." Inductee to it. So to the board or whoever looks at it to keep them in consideration. And that I just read off of is the resume for the Hall of Fame that is submitted. Yes, it's Virginia Motorsport. Oh, this is for the Virginia Hall of Fame. But then I believe that same resume, maybe a little bit more in depth, is in
the National Late Model.
It's to the people that look at it. So, yeah. So with that being said, big race is coming up. Tom Bear Memorial. I said it a lot. We reviewed it in the podcast, but interview came as of late last night. Wanted to get him on, promote it a little bit. What else do we need to talk about? I feel like there's some else.
I mean, Booper's always meant a lot to both of us, really.
Oh yeah, Myrtle's got a full story here.
I started going around helping Tyler and Samuel Bryant that still races, but I kind of moved to North Carolina, fell off a little bit. But Booper did give me a nickname, Turtle. So before there was a.k.a. Myrtle. It used to be Turtle for 2 years probably.
Then I think, or somebody started saying Myrtle Turtle. His number in my phone is still Myrtle Turtle, so it might have been me.
Yeah.
So then we just said Myrtle Turtle, and now I think Myrtle's just caught on.
Yeah, Myrtle just caught on with Evan with CFM, Chris Ferguson Motorsports. So but yeah, Booper was originally one that gave me Turtle.
Booper
started that.
Turtle.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's a lot we could go in on Booper and Tyler, but really want to focus on Tom in this Memorial race coming up here this weekend. Local driver around here. I know in the interview we talked about Buzzy Walters a lot as well. He was a good local. I've been trying to convince him to come on the podcast. He said he's not. He is not doing it. He said, but he is another one of the local legends possible. I believe. I've heard so many people tell me he'd been the best dirt late model driver, one of the best dirt late model drivers if he had the equipment and the time to do it. I don't want to quote people, but I've heard people say that he was better than Tom racing. I don't know. I don't want to quote it, make people upset. But I feel like I've heard somebody say that. I don't know. I never watched either of them race.
I wasn't alive yet. Neither was you.
So I know Buzzy at Eastside was really dominant. I've heard a lot of stories from Frankie Pennington, who we'd like to get on. He's also a local guy that ran a lot, but he hopped around in asphalt and drag. Excuse my language, but Buzzy that I'm talking about here, he actually calls Frankie the drag fag. That's what he calls him. Because I guess he hopped from oval, asphalt, and
straight line.
Yeah, to drag. So, but that being said, I hope you enjoyed the interview. Thanks to Boot for coming on. And giveaway. I didn't talk about that. This is going to be a giveaway episode. I'm going to have to re-add that into.
You did.
Talk about it. Not in the original. Not
in the end.
Yeah, in the end. This is going to be a giveaway episode. Share it, and you will be entered in to win $20 to the Palms. So, with that being said, enjoy the interview. All right, we're back here on the Get to Top podcast. We got Hall of Fame dirt late model driver, Booper Bear. How you doing today, Booper?
I'm pretty good.
Well, we just wanted to get you on as we got the Tom Bear Memorial Race coming up. So first off, just tell us a little bit about your dad and his racing career and what all he got into.
Well, I think our neighbor Buzzy Walters back in the mid-'60s had gotten a car, and my mom and dad went and watched, and they bent it up right bad. Just got to run a few laps, and Buzzy asked my dad, because they had a welder here at the farm, if he could weld the bumpers back on it. And my dad said he was a little hesitant to do it because he didn't want him to get hurt if something happened. And so he said he talked him into doing it, and said they went again to East Side, and he said that time, he said it didn't last as long as it did the first time. And then he said he got hooked on it, and Buzzy drove one week and he drove the next, and then they got 2 cars, and then they got 3 cars. So that's kind of how it all started.
All right.
He said it wasn't much fun. It wasn't much fun sharing a car. He said you had to wait too long to do it again next year.
What was your dad like away from the racetrack?
He's a normal dad. I mean, he just he always expected whatever you did to put your all into it, and he wasn't very happy if he caught you doing something and not putting 100% effort into it. And I guess we lived an ordinary life, I think.
Yeah. So, when he passed, I'm sure he passed plenty of racing information along to you. What kind of advice did he give you that you really took into your racing career, and what have you used kind of putting it towards helping Tyler in his racing career?
Well, the biggest thing him and Buzzy both taught me was things not to do, how to put stuff together and not create problems. Like, for instance, how to mount the radiator so it would stay secure and not fall out of the brackets during the race, or things that they had experienced along the way of do's and how the right way to do things and the wrong way to do things. And he always told me if you went to the races, put 100% into it, but always make sure you went to the pay window. And he said that's the only way you could afford to keep racing.
Right. So when you go to the racetrack, when you were a driver and now along with Tyler, you might be able to talk on Tyler's behalf on this as well. But when they say come over the announcers and they say like a second generation or a third generation driver, or especially now for Tyler, and it's a Hall of Fame driver, second generation, does that put a little added pressure on you, or do you feel like you just kind of want to go and make your own kind of name and kind of do something different or stand out in a different way?
Well, when I come along, the thing that I didn't want to do, I didn't want to be any better than what I proved to be. Just because Tom had success racing and was a successful racer, I didn't think that just because I was his son that I should be recognized, expected to be. And fortunately, I got to race a little further from home than he did, and I think I got to make my own name in racing, and with no disrespect to what he had done, because at the time when I started, he had won all the big races. That he had won 2 at Winchester, one at Hagerstown, one big race at the end of the year at Virginia Motor Speedway, the one at Natural Bridge. So there was about 5 key races that everybody wanted to win in the 70s. and he had won all 5 of them, and he won the one at Potomac. So I just wanted to. I never dreamed that I'd get to race or as much as I did, and I was really happy just to be able to continue doing something that I enjoyed. And then at that time, my mom and him would go to as many of them as they could to watch me race. And it was just what we did as a family and what we still do today. As much as Tyler's raced, the only roles that are different is his mom and I own the stuff, and he drives it. He and you all do all the work on it. But I still want him to do it, whether it's right or wrong. If I see him doing something that I don't agree with, I'm going to show my displeasure. Last Saturday night, for example, I mean, you were standing there close to me. I didn't want him running on the top of the racetrack when he was on the outside, and he recognized the fact that I thought he should be on the bottom, and a few laps later he got to the bottom, and when he got back toward the front, he could go where he wanted to.
Right. So
I just told him after the race, I said, son, you watch me race enough times to know that on these bull ring racetracks, when accidents happen, if the guy don't know you're on the outside, you're apt to get collected.
Right.
And as many of those racetracks as I ran, I felt you need to run as low on the racetrack if you could keep up, because the wrecks typically went away from you.
Right. So and when you got inducted to the Hall of Fame last year, which is a great honor, but I listened to the speech and your speech that you gave, and at the end of it, you came back and said, I'd like all the nominees to consider my dad for the Hall of Fame. I know, I'm sure you 100% agree that he has a good argument to be in the Hall of Fame, but do you think, just give us your reasoning on why you think he should be included in the Hall of Fame as well?
Well, depending on how you look at your inductees, whether it's how far they raced from home or what big races they won or their commitment to the sport or what they added to the sport, at the time when him and Buzzy started, they knew nothing about racing, and they didn't have friends that knew about racing. So what they learned the hard way.
Right.
And for them to go 2 and 3 and more hours from home and race and be successful, it was kind of unheard of. I mean, it was a select few people that could do that. And they could race good at Natural Bridge and Eastside, and then he could go off to Withfield or 311 or Hagerstown, Winchester, Saluda, Potomac, and he had success at those places too. So, in my opinion, that's the credibility that helps to get you there. And I'm sure there's equally deserving other people that haven't made it yet that would like to be there as well. It would just mean a lot to me if he was considered.
Right. So, Merle, go ahead.
What do you expect or hope from this weekend's race being the second annual Tom Bear Memorial?
Well, I mean, for us as a family to have been in racing for almost 60 years, I mean, it keeps his name alive. We still stay in contact with a lot of friends and family that we don't see as often that come back to pay support, tribute, whatever you may call it, to his legacy in racing. And it's just a good time, and we raise a lot of money and give a lot of money away. And those were the type of races that he enjoyed being a part of. And I based my thoughts around what I thought he would have enjoyed.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, Natural Bridge has done a great job of kind of posting stuff around. But for those that may not know, some information on, I know y'all do a different purse and stuff like that, so kind of some information on some reasoning for racers or fans to come this weekend.
Well, I mean, we don't see that much money paid throughout the purse, and a lot of people that aren't as familiar with it, an $800 to start limited race is unheard of most places. The 8800 would have been what my dad would have thought was right. He didn't like top heavy purses. But one guy got the most of the prize money and the rest didn't get any, because he felt that it took everybody's support to make the next race. So if you had an off night, he didn't think you should go home empty-handed, or you might not be able to get to the next one.
Right.
And he felt that racetracks needed everybody's participation. And for the spectators, I mean, we got some bikes to give away for the kids. There's some of my dad's pictures and trophies will be on display. Just a good fall event. I mean, we love seeing racing stay alive and vibrant. With racetracks closing everywhere, I mean, I guess all of us hold tight to the fact that we still have a racetrack where we live, and want to see it remain successful. God knows there's plenty that aren't successful. So I think Amanda and her staff have done a good job of keeping it going. And I think the previous people did a good job of keeping it going. It's just, if you're into it and you enjoy it, or if you've never been, I think it's something that you go and it might be something you really enjoy, or it might be something you don't want to go back to. But we had several people that come last year that had never been, and I had several phone calls afterwards saying, please make this an annual event, both spectators and sponsors. So we did something right.
Yeah. So, we're all looking forward to it, and we'll be there. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, and look forward to seeing the racing action this weekend and seeing you this weekend.
And I appreciate it. And the one thing I'd like to throw out there is we've had a tremendous amount of support from local businesses that my dad did business with, that Tyler and I do business with, and from individuals that just either was a friend of my dad's or friends of ours or knew him growing up. And we've had several people call in, say, can I donate to something or another pertaining to the race? We want to be involved. So just a huge thank you to all the people that thought a lot of our family and enjoy racing. And we hope we can make it an annual event, and we hope we'll be back next year doing it again. And each year I think of little things I'd like to do a little different if possible. But we just hope, it looks like weather should be good, and it should be plenty for the people to see.
All right. Well, yep, we're excited for the race, and we'll look forward to being there and then seeing, of course, a good series. So thanks for coming on, and hopefully we have a good race this weekend.
All right. Thank you all.
All right, that was Booper Bear on the Tom Bear Memorial Race. Booper Bear, I want to talk about the Tom Bear Memorial Race. I don't have really much to touch on, just be sure to check it out. It gives you a little more insight on Tom and his career and their relationship and Tyler's relationship to them. So be sure to check it out. A good event coming up. Really means a lot, and like Booper was saying, there's a lot of purse giveaways, not only for drivers and fans. So they got a lot going on. This is all put towards the event. I know there's a lot of work going into it as well, not only from their family but from other people, because also they're trying to get ready. Tyler's race car ready to race too, so he'll be in the race. And but Buzzy, he mentioned, will be there. He's a late racer, really good in the east side National Bridge area. But as Booper was saying, they went 3-4 hours and 2-3 hours and won some big races. So he'll be there. I'm sure they'll have special stuff for not only him and Tom displayed. And if you have any questions, I think Buzzy's a good one to go ask about. Not only Booper, but Buzzy, so he'll be there. So with that being said, be sure to check out the race. Start Friday, Saturday. I know earlier in the podcast we talked about it a little bit more, but Friday, Saturday, Friday's crate, sportsman, and street stock.
No.
Pure stock. I think street stock.
Yeah, street stock. You're right.
Then practice with time permitting for the Steel Block Bandits. Then we got the Friday is Virginia Sprint Series.
Saturday's
Virginia Sprint Series. The
pure stocks and
Steel Block Bandits, of course. So be sure to check it out. We'll be there. Me and Myrtle will be there signing autographs. But we'll be there, and hopefully we can. Maybe Myrtle can get us some more interviews or something about the races and stuff. I know I'll be working, but
Friday I will be, but Saturday I won't.
So maybe I don't think anybody will be there. Nobody will be racing as much. Maybe I can catch up with a person or two on. I think I'll probably end up working on Friday too, but.
What's a shot?
But Saturday we'll have to try to have some stuff for you. Maybe Myrtle can get a couple clips, videos, just to add on to YouTube, something like that. Not the whole race because they're probably not allowed, but a couple clips.
No, especially with it being on Dirt Ridge TV, I believe.
Okay, so check it out on Dirt Ridge TV if you can't be there. I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
I'm not entirely sure, but
I'm pretty sure Natural Bridge TV Facebook. Check that out. You'll be able to see it. I'm pretty sure I've talked to the people that run their Facebook page. They're going to share out this episode. So just get in contact with their. I'm pretty sure Natural Bridge Speedway TV. Check out that page. I know the Natural Bridge Speedway page has a link in there somewhere. You might have to scroll, but it's going to be on there somewhere for that page. So if it is on TV, you're going to find it out there. Leave it in a comment. They usually get back to questions like that. So if one person leaves a comment and 100 people have that same question, then there's one answer. So, but be sure to check it out. If you can't be there, I'm sure there'll be some ways you can watch it. I know it'll be on my race pass to keep up with timing. But if you can be there, please come. Big event. Probably one of Natural Bridge's biggest events of the year so far. I think it's the highest paying purse this year. No, they 10,000 crate.
Yeah, if it ain't, it may not be the biggest, like, highest to win race, but the purse is.
Throughout the field.
It's like a Lucas Oil purse. Like, you don't see a purse locally around like that very often.
And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the crate purse result like full purse, but I'm sure they might be doing a little something special. I know it's $1,200 to win, so it's more to win.
Yeah, it's about $500 more to win.
So I'm sure they got they might have a little something added into that. I know they got giveaways for winners of the crates.
Drama fuels for the crates. So yeah.
And then there's some giveaways for all the classes in 8th place because Tom.
Speaking of giveaway.
V8. Oh yeah, we're gonna do another giveaway. I'm gonna add that into the beginning of the podcast. We're gonna do a little more editing and merging, but I'll add that in the beginning. But we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna do. Should we do the Palms or Bistro, Myrtle?
I think we should do the Palms again.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, do the Palms. There'll be another giveaway for the Palms, $20. Gift card to the Palms, or we could do. Yeah, we'll do just the $20 for the Palms giveaway. Share this episode, put it into a wheel like we did last time. Spin the wheel. Last time, I know it wasn't on the podcast, it wasn't live, but we spun the wheel 3 times. And he let it land, then hit it again, then let it land, then hit it again, and there's your winner. So we'll do the same concept for this one. Or, depending on how many entries we got on before Saturday, might get the winner of the Tom Bear race to draw a name. So we'll see how that works. We'll see how many shares we get. Obviously, if Natural Bridge shares it, they can't win it. I don't think that.
I think Trevor wants to win it. So.
Yeah, the guy that runs it maybe. But yeah, if he tells, I'm gonna question him on the podcast. I'm gonna give him a test. And if he listens to it, then if his spin went, I'll put his name in the thing. But if he didn't listen to it and he just shared it on the Natural Bridge page, no, he didn't get it. So with that being said, we'll be back on the next episode. Thanks for listening on the Get the Top podcast.